think if you had to describe summer as a taste, what would your choice be? I think mine would definitely be strawberries. And if I want to enjoy the taste of summer again next summer, then it's a little bit of work that needs doing now. Back in April, I potted up these strawberry plants to give us a crop this summer. I don't grow them in the soil anymore. I grow them, as you can see, in troughs on ledges. And as you can see, it works quite well. So well, in fact, we get a little bit of extra help at harvesting time. I'm growing Sweetheart. It came out a couple of years ago, and as you can see, it produces perfect berries. It's mildew resistant as well. It's bred at East Malin to suit British conditions. But you can see now, looking at them, the leaves are beginning to lose a little bit of the condition. They're looking old and tough. And the crowns are actually producing runners for new plants for next season. All of this is going to weaken the plant. So what we need to do is to get inside and reveal those new, fresh young shoots that are coming up that are going to give us fruit next summer. So let's get them onto the bench at a more workable height, and we can see the plants a lot better. The first thing to do really is to get rid of the runners, get them out of the way, and then work at getting down into the plants where we can reveal the crowns that contain the young fruit buds for next summer, and also the young shoots that are going to carry the plants through the remainder of the season. Now, usually this job was carried out with someone using a pair of garden shears, and you just cut the top straight off. But growing them in pots, we can work on them far more easily and far more comfortably. And just as I say, just look at it, get any rubbish out of the way, and where you see a young shoot, just work around it. Don't cut them off. We want to leave those to grow. The plant needs something to feed on. You're giving the plants the maximum opportunity to build up strong, healthy crowns and fruit buds that will allow them to survive the winter and really be ready to go next spring. So it's critical that we get this job done as soon as the plants stop cropping. This operation doesn't only apply to pot-grown plants. Traditionally, as I say, it would be carried out using shears in the field. So if you have plants that you are growing in the ground, then don't be afraid to go out there and get on and do this job. Just get everything thrown away and cleared up in between the plants. And it's perfectly safe to put the leaves, the old material, the straw on the compost heap. It will all break down. But growing strawberries in the ground is becoming less and less popular now, and commercially, strawberries are grown on what are known as tables, very similar to this bench that you can see in front of you. The plants stay clean, is at a workable height. The strawberries themselves hang clear of the plants, and they're easily harvested, less bruised, and actually gives you maximum crop, because you can always come back and pick the berries that swell later. One of the main advantages of growing plants in troughs like this, of course, means that you can have early strawberries, mid-season and late, come on in succession, and all you need to do is to start them off in one part of the garden, and then as they come into cropping season, bring them close to the house where you can pick them quite easily. All that's left to do now is to give the plants a feed of general fertiliser. I use a liquid one this time of the year. I'd carry on using a tomato fertiliser, and then just loosen the surface to release some of the moisture and let the warmth get into it, and then let the plants dry out. We won't need any top dressing until next spring. We'll now look at ever-bearing strawberries, which really have one main cropping season, which is June or July, but they will continue then right up until the first frost in some cases. It's worth being aware that the later berries won't be as big as the summer berries. Now a quick look at making your own plants. It's quite easy, quite straightforward. Always select a shoot that's the first one on the runner, then snip the tip off. You can either put them directly into the soil, or I prefer to use a pot, and just get a pot filled with potting compost, and you can either half bury it or just leave it on the surface like this. So carefully place it on the surface. You can either use a hairpin made from a piece of soft garden wire, push it in the back just to hold it down, and that holds it in place. Or you could, if you want to, just use a stone, and by putting the stone on the back of the plant, as you'll see in a moment, it actually keeps the area underneath the stone moist and helps the plant to root more easily. But these plants will grow on, and say there's the tip, but we don't need that. Stop that. You just want the first runner, that's the first shoot on the runner, and get rid of everything else. And take about 4 maximum per plant. Diolch, and thank you for watching. Goodbye for now, but if you would like to see any more, please hit the subscribe and like buttons.